Hi, my name is Heather McCarty, and I teach in the History Department in the Gender Studies program. And I am making this little video to help explain administrative bloat at Ohlone College. So, administrative bloat refers to the growing number of non instructional jobs at colleges and universities. And I took that definition from the James Martin Center for Academic Renewal. So, let's talk about what that looks like at Ohlone College and some of our Bay Area peers. So this is our org chart for Ohlone College. And so this is kind of when you are outward facing, this shows you who is in leadership at our college. There's some interesting things about our org chart. Some of it is that it includes people you wouldn't expect to see on it. So I crossed off our board of trustees who, you would expect to be on there, but we don't really count as administrators. We also have on here executive assistants, and they're not normally on org charts. So I pulled them off ours. So I removed on this chart the board and the 6 executive assistants. And so if you go in and count everybody up after that, there are 52 what I call regular administrators at Ohlone College. So 52 regular administrators, and last year we had 112 full-time faculty. So let's compare. And I picked Marin College and the College of Marin, and I picked it in part because they also have 112 full-time faculty. So same size of full-time faculty. They're also like us, a single district college, which means it makes more sense to compare that because there's not a whole other layer above, right? It's just the local college management. And then they also have managers and other such folks on their org chart. So that matched with what we did, but they didn't have any executive assistants. So good thing I took it off our org chart. And if you count theirs up, you'll see, not counting their board of trustees, that they have 37 total what we would call regular administrators. Okay, let's look at another one. So this time we're going to compare City College of San Francisco, and I picked it because it's also a single college district. It's also really large, so I think it makes a good point of comparison. And if you look on their org chart, you can see here's their board of trustees, here's their chancellor, and then you can see that they have vice chancellors instead of vice presidents, and you can see their different areas. This is human resources, this is academic stuff, and you can see across here, right? Student affairs, finance and administration. This is their media and government one. And so you can see this is their structure. And so here I've pulled out the human resources section. And then you can see here are the other 4 areas, right? So you can take a look at those as well. And you'll notice that they also have managers on their org chart. They also do not have executive assistants on their org chart. They do have a grant writer on their org chart. We have a grant writer, but they're not on our org chart. And they have a total of 45 regular administrators. Here's the thing that's very different about City College. It's much larger. They have 432 full-time faculty. So as you can see, that's, not everybody's got fewer administrators than we do, regardless of their size. So let's take a look at who are our managers at Ohlone, who makes up the management. So this is pulled from Dr. De La Rosa's budgeting slide. And you can see here that they are budgeting for 63 total managers, which seems a little weird given that we actually only have 52 managers on the org chart. But as we already talked about, we have these executive assistants on here that don't belong. So I scratched off the executive assistants for the president and the board. I scratched off the executive assistants for the vice chancellor, and I scratched off the HR analyst / specialist category because nobody else has that on their org chart. So I took those off. And in doing that, you can see that, there's sort of 9 of these, odd management positions. So let's take a look and see who we've got. If you pull off the 9 folks, the executive assistants plus the HR analysts, you get a total of 54 regular administrative positions. And so there are those 2 more sort of, odd positions. And for us, we have an instructional designer who's a manager, but they actually are management. Mary's amazing. And she was manager of the year last year. So she's definitely a manager. And then we also, because of our amazing deaf studies and deaf community on campus, we actually have a professional confidential interpreter and coordinator who is a manager as well. And so we have these kind of special, unique positions that don't appear on our org chart, but are managerial. So that's who's missing from the org chart. So for the sake of argument and to limit anyone saying that, well, it seems like we have lots of managers, but that's because we have unique positions, we're just going to go with the classic 52 on the org chart, as I said here. So I will go with the 52 number on the org chart. Those are all categories comparable to other colleges. So it's apples to apples. And so, oops, sorry, I didn't mean to have that there. So let's put everybody together. So at Ohlone College, we have 112 full-time faculty, 52 administrators. Those are the numbers we're going with. Marin, which is basic aid, which means they actually have a lot more money than we do. They have 112 full-time faculty, but only 37 administrators. And then City College was 432 full-time faculty and only 45 administrators. So this seems, when you look at this, like a lot of faculty, and that's because, a lot of administrators, and that's because we do have a lot of administrators. But we haven't actually always had lots of administrators. If you go back and you look and you compare 2008 to 9 to 2023 to 24, you'll see that our head count in 2008 was, almost 20,000 students, and our head count last year was, almost 16,000. FTES was 9,301 versus 6,631. Full-time faculty, 152 to 112. 46 administrators to 52 administrators. So as you look at this chart, you might be noticing that, in fact, head count, FTES, and full-time faculty numbers have all gone down. The only thing on the chart where the numbers are going up is in terms of our number of administrators. And I think that this image also from Dr. De La Rosa's budget presentation really speaks volumes to what's happening. This is management in perspective. 114 faculty are what they budgeted for, almost 160 classified staff, and 63 managers. So let's talk about thinking about this in terms of a ratio. What is the full-time faculty to administrator ratio? There's a well-researched and utilized benchmark for how many administrators a college should have. And the ratio is that for every 3 full-time faculty, there should be 1 administrator. So let's take a look at Ohlone College. Next year, we'll have 111 full-time faculty for the 24-25 academic year. And using this 3-to-1 benchmark, there should be 37 administrators, right? 111 full-time faculty divided by 3 is 37. But we're budgeted for 114, so I'll go with 114. 114 full-time faculty divided by 3 is 38 administrators. But we have 52 regular administrators. So something's off. We have at least 14 more administrators than we should, and actually 25 if we go with that 63 administrator number that are identified in our budget. And you can see what this chart looks like in this faculty to administrative ratio, right? Marin is, right on target right there. Their basic aid, they have that, 3 full-time faculty for each administrator. We are off. We have 2 full-time faculty for each administrator. And City College has 9, almost 10 full-time faculty for each administrator. And so this is what administrative bloat is. Administrative bloat is when the government comes in and gives you a lot of money, but instead of it trickling down to the students, it actually gets stuck here at the administrative level. And that is what has been happening at Ohlone College.